Jonathan Lee Riches investigates big controversy out of Nashville, Tennessee today. Audrey Hale right here, who was the Nashville Covenant Christian School mass shooter. Remember the mass shooting that happened way back in March of 2023? The authorities took Audrey out. 3 children were killed, some adults in this school. Apparently, Audrey here wrote a manifesto, and authorities have been keeping this manifesto from the public for months. Well, today, part of it was leaked. A social media personality, Stephen Crowder, put it out there on Twitter, and then just the internet just blew up. And there's people that are saying that's great, it's out, finally, and then there's people that are outraged. But the press conference, I'm going to show you a press conference today. This guy I'm about to show you is one of the victims' family. He speaks on behalf of apparently all the victims of this tragedy at the Covenant Christian School. His name is Brent Leatherwood, and he has 3 children that were survived this shooting. He's outraged by the release of this manifesto, and I'm going to share this press conference with you. Check it out.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. You will be hearing from Brent Leatherwood. He's the father of 3 children who survived the Covenant shooting on March 27th. He will be speaking on behalf of Covenant families today regarding the documents that were leaked online from the shooter. Thank you.
I'm going to do it like this to make sure I don't interrupt your microphone feeds. Did I touch anything? Everybody can hear me? Okay. Well, thank you all for assembling here and being here at this moment. I find myself here again at Woodmont Baptist, a place that means so much to so many parents and families of the Covenant School. For it was here, in fact, just outside those doors behind us, it was here that so many of us were reunited with our children and our loved ones. And that is a beautiful example of what the church should always be. A place of reunification, a sanctuary from the chaos of the outside world. And certainly that was a chaotic day. Sadly, not all of us at Covenant had that experience that day. 6 of our families were fractured on March 27th. Never again to be able to tuck a child into bed or kiss a loved one goodbye as they left for work. For all of us, that was a day of unimaginable terror. Those of us with children and loved ones who did survive that mass murder event, the last 8 months have been arduous and difficult. So much so it's really hard to put into words what that pain has been like. And days like today only increase that already heavy burden. So how did we get here? Parents and families came together to prevent this exact moment from happening. To prevent the re-victimizing of our children and prevent further trauma to our families. Because we knew that these writings, these thoughts from the shooter were heinous. We knew that they were evil. Just today, I've received numerous phone calls from fellow parents, upset and afraid to even look online at the images that are going all across social media. The damage done today is already significant, and I'm worried it's only going to grow. With the release of images of these disgusting writings, what have we learned? Have we learned anything new? Have we learned anything we didn't already know? Did we not already know that this was a deeply disturbed individual who was detached from reality? What more evidence was needed? She shot her way into a school and killed 6 defenseless lives. We already knew that she was deeply and emotionally distressed and in need of help. That's not been added to by these images that we've seen today. And so now, a community, a school, families who have already suffered so much, we're left yet again to deal with this terror. And so a couple of very specific points. To the online shock jock who aired these images, I would challenge him and anyone who amplifies them online. Just be a human for once. Quit seeking clicks and retweets and platform building. And I would say specifically, any sort of profit or revenue that was generated by this, a naked display of platform building, any of that money should go directly to the 6 families. Or it should go to the Covenant School to help pay for the security that is there each and every day trying to make sure our kids are safe. Because that's another contention that we parents have had. These writings do have the ability to inspire further attacks. And not just on us, on other communities. We saw this in Allen, Texas, where that shooter referenced the Covenant shooter. How many more people have to be killed in a senseless way so that you can get clicks? And lastly, I want to speak directly to the person who took these images and released them. You are a viper. You're a member of the law enforcement community. And you have released evidence that was gathered in our most vulnerable moment. You have now allowed this woman who terrorized our family with bullets to be able to now terrorize us with words from the grave. How could you? What kind of a person does this? I've had a number of conversations today with Metro Police, the TBI, others. Metro has assured me that this is a felony. That the person who did this will be brought to justice, they will be arrested, and that absolutely has to happen. And the vast majority of our police officers have obviously on that day shown incredible bravery, and since then they have shown incredible kindness to us, and I am so thankful for those police officers. who have waved at our children, who have said how grateful they are for the prayers that our families have prayed for them on so many nights. And so this doesn't reflect you in law enforcement, whether it's Metro, TBI, or some other member of law enforcement. This is not you. This is someone who is in your midst. So I just want to say to that person, I will commit to praying for you, that you will reveal yourself so that justice may be done. And in the Christian life, repentance is key. Repentance means that we turn away from our evil ways. And I'm praying that's exactly what happens here. That this individual will turn from the evil that has been perpetrated on our families and realize the wrong that they have committed. And my hope is, my earnest hope, is they will find renewal in a person called Jesus Christ, who we at Covenant, at Woodmont Baptist, and at so many of our churches around here that have been praying for our families, for our children, know to be the truth. That He is the way, the truth, and life. And for this individual, even though I believe justice must be done in this moment, that is the way he will truly be set free. I'll take a couple questions.
Are you indeed confirming that these are the writings that the covenant parents saw?
I'll let Metro and any other law enforcement who have far superior capabilities in terms of technology to be able to answer that question and ascertain that.
And then the law enforcement person that you referenced to, are you saying that that person is the law enforcement, or was this a citizen that...
I don't believe the hill was secured very quickly that day. I believe that this is a member of the law enforcement community.
Mr. Leatherwood, thank you for your strength.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to ask you a difficult question. This was going through the courts, and there was always the chance that these would make the light of day. How is this different?
It doesn't change anything. I believe that this is just the tip of the iceberg. And our parents are still committed, our families are still committed to doing everything we can to make sure that none of the rest of this sees the light of day, because we don't want our children to someday read this stuff and whatever else may be there, because they're disconnected ramblings, but they are connected by one thing: they're evil. And so no, it doesn't change anything from that legal effort standpoint.
Can you explain how this blind side was really difficult this morning?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
Can you explain? I'm sorry, I didn't get to finish my original question. I really wanted to know how this blind side...
Oh, I've walked around all day like a gut punch. You know, once I kind of was able to wrap my head around what I was seeing, I immediately went to Metro. And then I went up to TBI. Because I think when you pass a squad car from Metro, it says that they are Nashville's guardians. And I firmly believe that. And I know so many police officers, particularly after March 27th, they believe that. And if this individual was a member of Metro, he has violated that pledge. Violated it in the worst possible way. So no, I've been walking around, and so many of our families have been walking around in a daze today.
Are you looking
Metro
to file
Ma'am.
litigation?
Real quick, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Metro Police has said it's not a crime scene photo, but are you suggesting that they are looking into whether somebody within the police department...
I think they're doing all that they can to ascertain where this came from. Yes, ma'am.
Are you looking to file litigation against the person who leaked this and the person who posted it to social media?
We haven't even gotten into... So this is Eric Osborne. He's the attorney that represents parents and families. We haven't even gotten into what legal options are available. I think we're still trying to have open lines of communication with all members of law enforcement.
Can you clarify a couple things?
Yes.
So you...
I'll try.
You and the other parents on behalf of your children
Yes.
legally own the writings because of the decision the Hale family made.
Can we clarify that after the fact? Okay.
But have you seen the writings yourself?
No.
That's what I asked.
No, I'm
So-
sorry. No. To my knowledge, there has been no parent that has been given any sort of access. No.
So that being...
We had parent briefings, survivor and victims briefings after March 27th, where, I think this is standard operating procedure. Metro just kind of reviews what their investigation has told them with parents and families. That's the only thing. That's the only direct knowledge I have, or any of the parents have.
So that being said, do you believe in the authenticity of the pages in those photos with the knowledge you have?
So in my mind, whether it is direct images or whether it's something that is inspired by what the shooter thought, wrote, or did that day, all of it is reprehensible and none of it should see the light of day.
So what does this mean then for you? I know you're evaluating other legal options. What do you think this means for the current case and your ability to even intervene and make the case that they shouldn't be made public?
I actually don't think it will change our current legal case. I feel confident that we are going to be able to intervene as parents and families in that case. And if anything, I think this shows exactly why we have taken the legal actions that we feel appropriate. Because none of these evil ramblings should ever have been made public. So I think it further confirms that we're on the right track. Okay, thank you all. Really appreciate what you do in the media.
Thank you.
So we called the leaker a viper. He's not happy. He thinks this is all for clicks and views. Matter of fact, he's wondering why doesn't the money go to the victims that are made off this manifesto. Do you think this manifesto should have been released? Apparently, now, the mayor of Nashville said he's launching an investigation. There's some people now saying that the manifesto was selective parts of it have been released. Will they release it all? I don't know. Apparently, Nashville police said they'll release it when they're done the investigation. It's been 7 months. So he spoke on behalf of the victims' families. Is that how all the victims' families feel? They don't want it released? What's your thoughts about all this? Some people kind of forgot about this mass shooting, right? This happened way back in March, Tennessee. What's your thoughts on the whole scenario there in the press conference? I'll be reading your comments. I've been covering this case extensively, so if you're new to the channel, check out my playlist, Audrey Hale playlist. We talk about who Audrey Hale is, victims, family members, some of the law enforcement families that spoke up about the case. It's, we got a lot of videos out, so check it out, please. And if you're new, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. Let me know what you think. We will talk soon. Stay tuned.